Well, hello, Fairfax Baptist Church family. It is kind of a rainy and gloomy Wednesday here. In this edition of our midweek minutes, it's good to see you again and be back with you for these few minutes. It was a sad day and a tearful departure as Becky concluded her ministry working in our music team for about the last 5 years or so. She's been a part of our church family. And we rejoice in that time, but we have had to say farewell to her. So we wish for her and Marlon all the best as they pursue other directions a little bit closer to home. We know that she'd been driving from quite some time since their marriage and them setting up housekeeping down in Warrenton. So again, Becky, thank you for all you've done. And thank you for the wonderful gift of music that you shared with us this past Sunday. Well, I want to take just a few minutes and hopefully just a few minutes to share with you and to give you some updates on where we are as we come into the Easter week. That's right. This Sunday is Palm Sunday, and that'll be our focus worship-wise for the Sunday. And then we come into Easter week. There is a great big question from everybody from the choir to the back row in the balcony. They've wondered what's going to happen with Becky's departure with our music, particularly for this Easter season. Well, I want to introduce to you on this Sunday a friend of mine. I've known him for a little over a year now. We've got a chance to get to know each other. His name is Andrew Lewis. Andrew's going to be kind of our guest musician for the next few weeks. He is going to be our featured musician for this Sunday, Palm Sunday. He'll be playing the piano as well as offering a gift and solo from there. And we look forward to that. And then on Easter Sunday, Andrew's going to actually serve as kind of our worship leadership. And we are going to be putting together a beautiful Easter Sunday service where he will both play as well as lead the congregation. Because remember, we've got a special treat for this Easter Sunday, and I'll hit that in just a moment. So as far as the music goes, we do have the holidays covered next Sunday and the next, and hopefully, even a few beyond that as we begin to put together where we go in this next step. I know that's been a concern for many people. It's been on my mind as Becky gave us those notice a couple of weeks ago. But we wanted to really have a big farewell for Becky and to show our appreciation. Before I introduce to you my friend Andrew. Andrew's actually visited with us. He is relatively new, again, about a year ago, coming to this area from Indiana. He is a former minister of music down in North Carolina. He's a graduate of Southern Seminary and has most recently come from Indiana with he and his wife and transferred to this area and has offered to step in this time. So I want to say thank you to Andrew and to Lynn, his wife, as they kind of help us out for the next few weeks at least. And we'll be keeping you in touch as that is a very visible part, obviously, of our worship, a very important part. And we are looking for the days ahead, but music is covered for these, especially these next couple of Sundays. We're looking forward to having Andrew with us. Now, let me get to the holiday week itself. Next week, that's next Thursday, April 1st, is Maundy Thursday. That has always been a very intimate gathering. We have gathered in the fellowship hall. We've had a meal that helped us focus on the deliverance for God's people. We've shared that upper room experience feel. We've washed each other's hands. We've passed the bread and served one another. We've even shined one another's shoes, those kinds of things. We've also been in the sanctuary on Maundy Thursday and had just really a beautiful service, a very full service, combined choirs, all those kinds of things. And we've not been able to do that last year. And again, we're not going to be able to do that. Even with that sanctuary Maundy Thursday service, if you recall, it still was very intimate. The lights were dimmed, and much like a Christmas Eve service, it was full, but yet we felt a closeness. And we even came to the communion table to partake of the bread and the cup together from a common loaf and a common cup. And so it was a very personal, very close, very intimate time of worship. Under the protocols that we have to still abide by that kind of service, and the intent for that kind of service is very difficult to try to replicate with those limitations. And so what we're doing this year from Maundy Thursday is to do an at-home live streaming rather on Thursday night. So at 7 o'clock on Thursday, you can connect to the Watch Now button. You can connect directly to our YouTube channel. And there is a devotion that will be, when we'll join together, we will be sharing communion there at your table. And I encourage you to prepare now and making sure you have the bread and the cup that from your own pantry with which you would feel comfortable, or the communion kits that we provide. We have to use those here. We've also provided those for you. And so if you need one, you still have some time to inquire about getting some of those. Or you can use whatever you have in your own pantry. That's 7 o'clock next Thursday, April 1st, Maundy, Thursday. It'll be about a 30-minute devotional around the table, and we'll partake of the table together. If you cannot make it at that time, obviously you can join in. It'll be on the YouTube channel and saved there, and you can do it later in the evening. But it is a time I encourage you to gather as family. And even if you're by yourself, know that you'll be at our table with us, and we want to welcome you into our home and us into yours in a way. So be sure to tune in as we stream our Maundy, Thursday kind of reflection gathering as we share communion together. And then the next morning, Friday, Good Friday, April the 2nd at 7:30, we will have our kind of more traditional, like we've done over the last few years, very quiet, reflective communion service in the sanctuary. It is going to be a time of reflection. It'll be a time of devotion, a time of reading, and we will also share communion together again. We'll be using the resources that we have to use on Sunday morning. So not quite that as intimate and personal a feel. We still have to do the social distancing and the mask and those kinds of things. But we will have that gathering. We were not able to do that last year at all. And just because of the nature of the way that service is going to flow, it's going to be kind of awkward to do a live stream. And so what we're doing is it will be recorded and then edited down just a little bit. And then the devotional part and the partaking of the bread and the cup, that will be made available later in the morning by noon at the latest. On that day, if you can't make it here or make it that morning, you can certainly enjoy that time together in a way online. But I do want to encourage you. We will have all the safety protocols and COVID protocols in place, and we'll be observing those. Because of that, we're not able to all go to breakfast together. That was kind of a growing tradition. But we'll be able to gather in that special place. And so I want to encourage you that morning, 7:30, Good Friday morning, that's April 2nd. And then I'm really excited about Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday, we begin with our 6:30 a.m. sunrise service. It'll be in the courtyard. It'll be a wonderful gathering of praise and reflection on the word, and starting the day with the reality that we celebrate that the Lord is risen. And then our Easter celebration service will be just that. But unlike last year, where it was live streamed and you weren't there and we were here, it just was kind of awkward and really frustrating. It was one of the first real lockdown services in the times that we had last year as COVID began. It really hit Easter kind of hard for a lot of us. Well, we are going to be streaming the service as well as streaming the sunrise service, and I'll give you more details about that next week. That will be available for a live stream, but we want to encourage you to be here. Obviously, the 6:30 a.m. service is outside, and we are ready to have a full service also outside in the courtyard Easter Sunday. We have a rain contingency. We have a tent that is perfectly suitable for allowing us to be out of the drizzle or something like that, but it looks to be in the long-range forecast to be kind of a drier spell, and hopefully that will remain. We have a platform, we have the speakers, we have everything that we learned about last fall when we had our outdoor singing service of ways to tweak and make the experience even better. And so we have decided to have our Easter celebration service outside, and there's two reasons why. One, it will allow as many people to be in the same place at the same time as we possibly can. Over the last few Sundays, and last Sunday was a perfect example, we were at capacity in the sanctuary. Every space that was set aside and measured out and reserved for seating was taken. And it actually, we had to add some spaces in along the back row, in the back of the wall, some extra chairs. Some of our deacons and all had to stay seated back there so other people could take the seats in the pews. We do have overflow space that's available and ready to be used in the coming days in the fellowship hall. But we really didn't want to have that experience at Easter. And we just all can't fit in the sanctuary under the COVID limiting protocols. We're still, no matter how many people are vaccinated and how many people have had it and over it, no matter how many masks you wear, we still have that distancing that we have to do. And so it's been very, very quick now that people are beginning to return, that we're beginning to reach capacity. And we did not want that on Easter Sunday. So that's one big reason. We want to all be there together, not have to have multiple services, not have to have people in the fellowship hall essentially watching it on a large screen that they could have done at home. We want to be together. And being outside gives us a little more flexibility with those COVID protocols. It does another thing. It allows us to safely sing. It's one of the best practices, and I know different congregations have chosen to address it in different ways, but we have chosen to, at least for this time, continue that best practice suggestion of not having singing inside on a congregational kind of way, singing around those around us. But outside, we're able to do that. We'll still be, having some social distancing with the seating, but being outside, it's a little bit safer and a little bit easier for us to do congregational singing. And so even though my friend Andrew that I mentioned a few minutes ago, he'll be with us and leading in worship, and he may also, we may put together another music feature that includes him and others perhaps. But know that you are going to be the primary music feature. We're going to sing. We haven't had a chance to sing a lot as a congregation in the last 12 months. And that's going to be a significant part of that Easter celebration service. Yes, there will be the message, that old story that is just as true and alive today, that Jesus is risen. We're going to get a chance to sing about it. So all those Easter songs that we don't always get to every year, and all of those Easter songs that nobody sang last year, we're going to knock them all out of the park this year. So you'll want to be a part of that service on Easter Sunday. Sunrise service 6:30, celebration worship service at 11, both of them outside, and we're looking for a wonderful, beautiful day. And yes, thank you, Becky, and thank you to my friend Andrew for stepping in over these next couple of weeks at least, and helping us out in this time of transition, and again, helping us celebrate Easter in a beautiful way. Now, there is attached to the email that introduced you to this link, kind of in a bulleted fashion, some of the information that I just ran through. I know it was a lot. Next week, because David is going to be out of the office, he's traveling, and with an Easter week and a lot of things going on, we decided not to do a midweek minutes video, but we are going to have a midweek minutes kind of email blast. So once again, you're going to hear from me next Wednesday with even more details about how to participate both Thursday and Friday. And then of course the Sunday activities, as those things kind of begin to flesh out in a little more detail. We'll cover all that next week, and you'll have that in print via email. So I want to just highlight that for you, let you know, as we've had to say farewell to Becky, that God has provided a wonderful resource to see us through these next few weeks in this beautiful season in which we find ourselves now. Well, I hope to see you on Sunday, Palm Sunday. I hope to see you through Easter week, one way or the other. And be sure to circle Easter Sunday morning, 11 o'clock in the courtyard. More instructions to follow. Look, have a great, great day. Oh, and I mentioned David being away. Don't worry, our office remains open. It's regular kind of COVID limited schedule, Monday through Thursday, from 9 to noon. We have a number of volunteers that'll be filling in each day. So if you call the office and get an unfamiliar voice or one misplaced, you're going to recognize the voice perhaps, but not expect that voice on the phone call. Know that David is out of town. We've got the office covered. And thank you for those of you who are doing that. So those office hours will be the same for Easter week, just like normal, until Friday, which we're actually closed on Fridays anyway. So just keep that in mind over these next few days. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you Sunday, and really looking forward to Easter. We hope to see you then.